And I stood up and gave it my best shot over about a 3-hour editorial meeting that we really shouldn't go for this. And the editor and the deputy editor came by my office several times over the next 2 days and said, what about this? What about this? What about this? They really regarded it as a valuable contribution and then wrote the editorial saying the opposite. So,
right.
That collegiality,
so you guys were actually
long history. Thinking and believing in the Socratic method as well, that you're challenging each other, that the person who says the opposite to what everybody else is saying is the person who's helping you most. And not just doing it in a reflexive sort of, knee-jerk, contrarian way. But I mean, I think that, that's a problem in journalism in general, is as it's become a graduate profession, and it's not just like, I have a PhD in mathematics, so I'm a rather unusual graduate to have gone into journalism, but it's mostly people who will have studied great subjects like English or history or the economist, lots of economists, obviously, but then also sort of the studies type things, like lots of people who have done social studies or media studies or, journalism itself. And so they become more homogenous, more distant from what the population is like. Like, you used to come into journalism by going into the local press. You probably weren't a graduate. You spent your years doorstepping the families of murder victims, going and reporting on council meetings. You learned through shoe leather. And if you were good, you worked your way up through the ranks, and you might arrive at a very senior position in one of the great newspapers of the world, not having a degree and having an awful lot of common sense and experience. And now that's just not there because local journalism is dead. So people go straight into those institutions. The pay is much worse.
From
so
the
it's
universities.
better off people. Yeah, so it tends to have to